Hey guys, Andrew Scott here. I own 4 restaurants and I've helped over 500 other restaurant owners make more money, grow their sales, and have more freedom with their time and their businesses. So, what I'm talking about today is why your accountant will not help you make more money. It's weird because everybody thinks that their accountant is supposed to be the one that tells them where they should be cutting their costs, how well their business is doing and how do I make more money. But the thing is, your restaurant accountant isn't a CFO. When I started out, I was thinking, man, like my accountant's terrible because like they're not telling me what I should be doing to make more money. They're not telling me like where I should be cutting costs. They're not telling me all these things. Like all they're giving me is, a statement every month and I'm figuring out, what I should do there. I just didn't understand what the real role of an accountant was, of what a bookkeeper was. So I wanted to walk through that with you because I see so many people confused in the industry right now and thinking that their accountant isn't doing a good job, or maybe they are, or they think that. Anyway, people just don't know what good looks like and what the reality of their place in your ecosystem should be. So here we go. Number one, if you are the one doing your own books, you need to stop that right away and hire a bookkeeper. Couple reasons for that. Number one, you are going to be vastly less efficient than them unless you are a trained bookkeeper and you've done the courses and you know about double entry accounting. Like unless you know all of that stuff and you know how to classify everything and you're familiar with the systems and tools to do it, then go for it. But if you're not, which is most restaurant owners, you should be hiring a bookkeeper to do that for you. It costs, a few $100s a month, but realistically, with the amount of time that you save by doing that, you can actually go and generate more money for your business in different ways, because I can guarantee you it's going to take you twice as long as someone else, and it's actually going to cost you way more than that in time that you lose doing it. We think, if I can save a couple $100, then it takes you like 10 hours a week. Well, how much is your time actually valued at, right? Could you make more than a couple $100 if you took that, say 5 or 10 hours a week or whatever it's going to take you? Like, could you then go and actually generate more business with that time? Like if it's going to save you $200, for example, like do you think with all that time you could generate $200 more in revenue? Then it makes sense to go and do that, right? Number one, that's what we need to understand. Number two, an accountant, their job is to do your year ends, right? So to make sure they file things with the government. Their job is to make sure that you're saving on taxes with the profit that you make. If you are not making profit, that's a whole different ballgame we need to get into here in a second. But realistically, their job is to try and save you taxes and make sure everything is filed properly, to make sure that you've paid the amounts that you need to the government on time. Like that's kind of what their job is, to tell you what you owe and, just to make sure that you don't end up in jail or with huge fines from the government. That's their job. Okay. And if you make money, to save you as much as possible on taxes. That is what they're there for. Now, most people think that accountants are the same thing as a CFO for a restaurant, or they think they are business experts, but they see a lot of businesses and they see a lot of books. But you go and ask your accountant, you say, hey, how do I make more with my restaurant? They're going to go, oh, well, you should, cut your expenses. Or you should make more revenue, like obviously. But then you can ask them, hey, well, like where should I cut expenses? They're going to tell you where they think you should be able to cut expenses, right? But they may or may not be right because they are not the experts in the restaurant, right? You actually have more knowledge in the restaurant, even if you don't know everything. So let me give you an example of this. So I had this one client that I worked with, and we were working on a whole bunch of things together. And one of the things we did is we introduced this marketing program, which actually generated them a ton of results and a ton more sales. And then they went and had their year-end meeting with their accountant, and their accountant said, oh, well, your marketing expenses have jumped up by, 200% or 300% or something like that. Like, yeah, if you want to, stay profitable, you need to cut that marketing expense. And so they cut the marketing expense and their sales went down. So I'm like, hold on a second. So your accountant told you to make more money, you should cut the thing that makes you money. Doesn't make sense, right? So, and I'm saying this, not all accountants are like that, but sometimes they don't understand what's actually going on in your business. You actually may have a better idea about that, or you may need someone to help you analyze what's actually happening in your business. The thing is, it is your job to make the changes in your business to make more money and to make it better. It is not your accountant's job to make your business money. It is your job to make your business money, right? So your bookkeeper and your accountant, they are there to give you the tools to be able to look at the data and then take from the data what you need to do to make a difference in your business. So if I ask you this right now, hey, what is your target food cost? If you do not know what your target food cost is, then that's something you should figure out. Because when you get your report back, if you don't know what your target food cost is or your target labor cost is, you're going to look at that report and you're not going to know whether that is good or bad, right? So it's all in context, because as a full serve, you're going to have vastly different targets than a quick serve restaurant. And if you talk to, a general accountant, they're going to say, oh, well, you should do 30% labor, 30% food, and then 30% expenses and 10% profit. Well, that model's broken, to be honest. There should be way more profit at the end of the day. And, 30% for a quick service restaurant is vastly overspending on labor, and 30% for food is underspending for a quick service restaurant, just for example. So the point I want to make here is, if you don't know what those numbers are, that's where someone like me can come in and help and actually look at all the things that are going on in your business, look at your menu, look at your expenses, and actually be able to tell you, hey, this is what you should be optimizing for here. Your accountant's not going to be able to know that, because all they're going to know is numbers. They're not going to know your menu pricing. They're not going to know all the intricate details of even, which items sell more and what your weighted food cost should be based on what you sold with your different mixes. So point is, your accountant is not your CFO. Your bookkeeper is not your CFO. What they should be doing, your bookkeeper should be giving you a profit and loss statement every single month along with a balance sheet. And you need to have that every single month. And it needs to be produced within a timely manner, which means the month ends. And then typically, 2 weeks later, you have a report in front of you, ideally less. And then your accountant will do your year-end financials with you, will advise you on tax savings and things like that. They should be telling you when you need to file certain things, how much you need to pay, whether it be payroll taxes or corporate taxes, whatever the case is. All of those things, that is what they're there to help with. And you are there to make money for your business. That's what you need to do. You need to look at the numbers. You need to make the decisions to make your business money instead of relying on someone else. Why isn't my business making money? Well, it's because you have not made the decisions to make your business money. And that's a hard truth for a lot of people to learn. And that is the lesson that I had to learn, because I went years without making money. And I was expecting someone to come along and tell me, hey, Andrew, you need to do this, 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 and this to make money with your restaurant. But it was me that had to figure that out, because I'm the owner. The buck stops with me, and that is my job. So once I learned that, I started doing things vastly differently, and we actually made a profit, and we turned things around. And then I opened from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 locations. But it wasn't because my accountant told me. My accountant, once I started making money, then they helped save me on taxes. Great. But I had to make the money first. And so that's where a lot of restaurant owners are confused about what the role of everybody is. And so now that you know, you can then change what you're doing day to day to make you and your business some more money. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll be happy to hear about it. And for whatever reason, if you need help actually deciphering some of this, we do have some free tools and resources, and we'd be happy to jump on a call with you and talk you through that. And if you really want some help to really make more money with your restaurant, we can talk about that too. All right, bye.